People always say this to me. Tate, what about burnout? What? Do you want to be rich or not? Burnout. Do you want to be rich or not? You work and you sleep. Do you want money? Oh, but I might burn out. Burn out. You're not some Formula One car. Your brain ain't some supercomputer. You're a geek.
All right, so we are reviewing Andrew Tate's Hustler University, where he is talking about business principles, and we are on lesson number 64. And here we're talking about burnout for the business owner as well as for the employees. I am Dr. Markan, a physician, and I also run a software company, TrueTalent.online. And I'm going to explain through my lens whether his advices are valid.
You either want to work and get shit done or you don't. I don't believe in burnout. What I believe in is reality. I believe in cause and effect. I live in a binary world. I believe in done or not done. I don't believe in burnout. I believe in finished or not finished. I'm filming now late at night because it needs to be finished. It needs to be done. Until it is done, it is not done. There's no such thing as burnout.
All right, I do believe that success only comes after struggle and after you have stressed yourself thin. That is what success comes after. But hear me out, there is some difference between the business owner, the person who is actually leading the whole process and is potentially looking to benefit the most, and compared to the person's employees. The employees, although there may be people who want to scale up in life and succeed in your business, but a lot of employees may have other things to do. They may have kids, they may have to get home, they have other things in their life. So you could stress yourself out as a business owner because you want to succeed, but it may not be true for your employees. You can push your employees, you can get your employees to do more work, but that will depend on an individual local situation.
There's such thing as not doing stuff because you're a little coward. Burnout. What's wrong with you people? What about burnout? Let me tell you something. If you work to the point of burnout, you should at least have 10 mil in the bank. If you get to the point where you're so burnt out and your body can't possibly move, I'm burnt out. Your neurons no longer fire in your brain. Your cells no longer replicate. And you're laying in bed about to die because the amount of spreadsheets you've done and how many emails you've sent. Then you should be rich. Until you're rich.
So from a software company perspective, so yes, the leader, the boss, the chief developer has to work excruciatingly hard, at least initially. And that person has to manage and control all the other developers who are working on projects. So the thing is with developers, you can make them work hard, you can have them extend their timings, and you can pay them overpay. But to expect a developer who has to write code, and if they make any mistakes in that code, then you could actually spend days trying to figure out what actually was wrong with the problem. But again, with everything, you have to have a certain level of moderate level of stress developed within yourself, as well as for your team, for your developers, to actually get the product done properly and on time and on schedule and on the right amount of money that you have set apart for this.
Rich, you ain't burnt out nothing. You know what you are? Lazy. L-A-Z-Y. Let me write that.
So he's talking about laziness, but now I'm going to put on my doctor hat on because when we were in, let's say in residency, going 34 hours, 36 hours, 48 hours was no big deal. And there was no room for laziness. Your patient needed something. You gotta do something. It could be your 48th hour. Your mind, you needed to be alert to be able to handle that particular situation. Then as an attending, of course, you have medical students working for you. You have residents working for you. You can sit back a little bit, but at least when you're starting off, you're getting your startup off the ground, getting your business to the next level. Laziness is not something that you can afford because your competitor is working right now and is probably working twice as hard as you, or probably has trained people enough to work twice as hard as you. So keep that in mind. If you want to succeed, the word lazy should not be in your dictionary. And I remember when I was the resident in the ICU during Sandy, the big hurricane that actually hit New York back in 2013. I was the resident in the ICU and I was there in the hospital for 3 days and 3 nights. And after that, I went home to sleep in my apartment. I didn't have any electricity. I was just relieved that I get a chance to lay down in my bed and actually sleep. So when you have to do the work, when you have to get down and dirty, there is no room for laziness.
Tell you another way to spell burnout. This is how we spell it around here. This is how the rich people spell burnout. That's how we spell it in the Millionaire Club. And when you become a multimillionaire yourself, you'll soon learn that this is the easiest way to spell burnout. Because everyone starts talking about burnout as some 19-year-old dork who ain't achieved. At 19, I had so
When I was initially getting my startup, my software company off the ground, I would wake up in the middle of the night. If a client says he needs to have a meeting in the middle of the night, if we need to have a sales call in the middle of the night, I am getting up. I am setting my alarm for 10 minutes before that, putting on a coat and, splashing some water on my face. And I am ready for that call in the middle of the night, although I may have spent the whole day struggling. But I agree, it is not all totally laziness. I mean, burnout is one thing, but we as a software company, we do have events every few months. We do take people to vacations. We have local events, birthday parties. It's not laziness, but to prevent a certain degree of getting tired with the work, you have to open up a little bit. You have to give fixed set schedules by which you are able to get your staff relaxed so they can work properly. And when they're actually set to work, then make sure they are working properly. You can't be nice all the time. You have to hold the reins on fairly tight.
so much energy, I was running to work, running home, running to the gym, training 3 hours, then running home. And you're talking about burnout from sending some emails? You look like a geek. Burnout ain't real. Get out your There's no such thing as overwork.
So there's no such thing as overwork or burnout. Well, I would like to, differ a little bit, because you can maintain this for, let's say, a year, or let's say 2 years. The business owner can do that potentially. But there certainly should come a time where you should, delegate and relieve some of your responsibilities if your business is growing. And then, you focus on some other things that may not be so tedious or burnout producing, and they may not be so stressful and anxiety inducing. You can do that by hiring managers or sales staff, or teach people how to do marketing and sales for you. And that is one way to avoid burnout, at least for yourself.
The only way you can overwork is if you do so much work you don't enjoy your life. And you only deserve to enjoy your life when you've earned it. So if you get to the point where you're sitting on 10 mil and you're not spending any of your money or enjoying your life because all you do is work, then fine, you can say you're overworking. There's no such thing as overworking when you're broke, because you go.
And so this is what I talk about on my channel, Business and Brand Success Secrets. You just need to have the right mindset. And I actually have a whole playlist of startup success secrets with how to pitch angel investors, how to write to angel investors, how to build mobile applications as a non-technical individual. I have all that on my channel. You can check that out. But if you want to have me review more on Andrew Tate, you can actually watch this video on passion versus profit. I'm reviewing if Andrew Tate is correct about his views on passion versus profit. And if you like my channel, subscribe right over here. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.